I'm Bruce Thompson. Welcome to my hip and thigh video. We start with footstool up and down. Down and up, like rising and lowering of a ship by the wharf. Down and up. Down and up, down and up. Change to one knee forward. Now there's more weight on my right leg. 2 and up, and 3 and up. Just relax around the collarbones. 5 and up, and 6 and up. Switch over. 2 and up. You're getting a stretch, you're relaxing, you're smiling. 4, 5 and up, and 6 and up. Scooter. Right foot on the footstool, right hand on the stick. And start with the fist and hand back. 1, 2, get yourself low, you're looking over the top of the stick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, switching over. 1, 2, stay low. 3, 4, 5, 6. Just move the hand over. We've got the opposite hand and foot going. Back together. 1. This is really moving now. Now to make a challenge, put this stick right in front of the footstool. 5, 6. Change both over, other side. And away we go. To make a challenge, put the stick in front of the footstool. Stay low. 4, 5, 6. Footstool hip hikes. Down and up, down and up, down and up, and 4, 5, 6. Switching over. Keep the legs straight. 2 and up, 3 and up. Nice proud chest, second rib breastbone lifting. 4 and up. Now go for a challenge. Stick free. Find your balance. Press into the front of the foot. 3 and up, and 4 and up, and relax across the shoulders. 6, switch sides. 1 and up. The more range of movement you get, the better. And 6. Wall sit crow. Feet together. Put your bottom back. Let the second rib breastbone lift. You've got a nice straight back into the wall. Put the lower shin on the ankle, push the knee down, second rib breastbone lifting, back's really straight, and 1, 2, 3, we're going to do 12, 5, 6, you can stop a little easier earlier if you want. Down we go, get the knee bent, really working out the knee now, get a little bonus there, 2, 3, 4, this is so good for the kneecap tendon. 6, feet together, come off the wall. Again, hips back, second rib breastbone lifting, get to the wall. Second rib breastbone lifting, push. 2, 3, we're going to do total set 12, total 12, 5, 6, slide down the wall. Second rib breastbone lifting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming off the wall. Spider-Man stretch. We start with one fist to the mat and one hand on a knee. Note my toes are pointing out at 45 degrees. Let's just come up a little. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, and they're really getting into that stretch now. 4, 5, other side. 1, 2, 3. Just activate your toes and your balls of toes, squeeze them into the mat. 4, 5, 6, toes pointing forward. Toes pointing forward. This time we're going to look over our shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Feel the stretch in the front of the inner thigh this time. 4. Look right behind. 5. Relaxing into the stretch now. 6. Up and over. Look behind. Toes forward. Look behind. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Come on. Warrior pose. Hand on the hip to push it back. Bend the knee. Hand on the knee to push it back. It's like sliding between 2 plates of glass. 2, 3. Vertical torso. 4, 5. Keep the hip back. Keep the knee back. And feet over. Keep the hip back, keep the knee back. 1. Make sure these hips are moving with that knee. As that knee goes over, the hips are going over. 4. Come on, smile. Shoulders back. 6. Make it work. And now the full action. Feet over. Knee back, hip back. 1 and 2. Fingers back, stretch the wrists, push open across the chest. 5, 6, feet over. Hip back, knee back. 1, 2, I got a vertical torso, you do too. Come on, 3, press the balls of toes and toes into the mat. So you've got the front of the foot activated, hip back, knee back. Come on, 2 more after this. 1, 2. Marriage proposal. We're going to start with the stick. Now you can use a little help from the stick in the hand. Just get yourself up. We'll do a simple version first. We're going for 6. 1, 2. Keep the torso vertical. Got a little lift the second rib and breastbone area. 4, 5. Now advanced students, go all the way down for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like bouncing a ball. 5, 6. Over we go, other side. 1, 2. It's a chance to get your breastbone lifted. Nice proud chest. Head's easily lifting up from between the shoulder and collarbone area. 5, 6, advanced. 1, bounce a ball. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're through the standing stage. Sway a grass skirt. Hips side to side. You'll notice my knees are close together. And we're just working at being tall. The arms can go in the action as well. Aloha. Take one hand to the ceiling. Reach really high, like there's a giant pulling up on your wrist. Feel the stretch. Feel the stretch. Right up to the armpit. Aloha. You put your hips over. Now the knees close together. Stretch. 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 You might put some wrist action in as well. That is a good stretch. Just look for the stretch, switching over. Giant's pulling your wrist up. I'm just about to leave the floor here. It's a really good stretch for the side of the hips. You'll feel that. Going to go into quad stretch. Now keep the knees close together. Heel to hindy. And now tuck your tailbone in and push forward on the diagonal here. Here. Push forward in the direction my fingers go. 4, 5, shoulder down. Actually push the top of your shoulder down here. The arm bone is going back and down away from the tip of the collarbone. Less risk of shoulder impingement. You get 2 for the price of 1. Forward. Nearly there. Switching over. Heel to hindy. Knees together. Measure your front against the wall and push that hip forward on the diagonal. What a stretch. Now we can help to immobilize this shoulder joint. Push the upper arm bone back and down away from the tip of the collarbone. So we reorganize the ligaments around this shoulder joint, the rotator cuff ligaments. Push the top of the arm bone back away from the tip of the collarbone. Push, push. Next exercise, swim a fish. So your hand is a fish. Take the hand and swim it round. Fingers point forward, the fish swims back. And straight elbow. If you feel a tingle in your hand, you're flossing the nerve. You're loosening up tight nerves. Round and back. So arm nerves can catch in a lot of places. Here, under the collarbone, under the pec minor. Swim your fish. Switch sides, swim your fish. You just make sure those fingers really point back, the wrists moving as much as it can. You'll feel stretches in all sorts of places. You can compare one side to the other. There's just so much happening here. Just marvelous. Feel the mobilization in your ribs. When your ribs are moving freely, your shoulders can move it freely. We've got the buttocks squeezing together. We've got the body sitting on top of the hips like a Beethoven bust on a pedestal. Okay, next one, pull strings. We're getting there, ready. See how the elbow's well back? The elbow's well back. We're trying to get this shoulder girdle to be pointed directly forward and backwards. Pull a string, elbow back, elbow back. If you really press into the range of movement, this is real Pilates. You're getting a lot of strength work as well. Back, back, back. Maybe this is like a nightmare. You're running through a treacle. You're trying to run away from monsters. Pull strings. Could you imagine 2 strings coming out of the wall? Grab and pull, and grab and pull. Now, you can ease off a bit, but I would suggest if you do Just take a break and come back in. We've got another 45 seconds. Feel the shoulder blades being pulled around the back of the ribs. This is like running through treacle. Can you get the shoulder moving a full 180 degrees, the shoulder girdle? Nearly there. 20 seconds to go. Let's make it good. Run. Elbow back. Elbow back. Elbow back. We're going to reach for a stretch band very shortly for towel stretch for the shoulders. Here we go. Shoulder, towel stretch. Imagine that we're just going forward and back in an arch. It's good to do this in the mirror because, as you can see, I'm not very symmetrical. And you can see my right side here just wants to stay up. Correction, the right side wants to stay down. See if we can equalize that. So the right shoulder's got some AC joint damage. Can we make it equal both sides? Okay, and then just like a rainbow, push the band back, squeeze the buttocks together. Maybe you're leaning back a little bit. How much range of movement can you get here? Whew. This is a workout. Squeeze the buttocks together, we're getting stability out of the pelvis, which is one of the things we're going to get from the hip and thigh workout. Whew. All fours and rocking back. Knees slightly wider than the hips. Just go on back. Take yourself to the limit of what your knees, ankles, and hips will give you. There's nothing like rocking back for exploring the boundary of the impossible. Keep doing it. After a month, you'll find out you've got more range of movement. Hey, 1,000 million babies can't be wrong, right? Pause and get the wrists up for a finger stretch. Back we go. Keep the weight into the fingers. Push back with the fingers. If you stay up in the up, you got a lot of weight on those fingers, getting a really good stretch. It's a stretch that you don't usually get in normal life, so enjoy. So we can go back and go into frog position, elbows close to knees, and just go side to side. Now, if you've got really tight hips or sore knees, you can have your bottom up a little bit higher, and you can still rock side to side. And just let your neck relax, let your eyeballs move. Whew. Rocking back with crossed legs. You just take the leg up and over. There's your crossed legs. Push the foot or slide the foot towards the corner of the room behind you and just prop on the elbows. And we just take that backwards and forwards, side to side. Now just to add to the fun a little bit, tuck your toes under and really push back into that stretch and get the body moving side to side. With the toes tucked under, the knee off the ground, you've got more mobility. Rolling over that thigh bone to really stretch out the ligaments around the hip joint and the muscles immediately behind the neck of the femur hip joint. Make space behind the hip joint So the ball can stay deep and back in the socket. That's a safe place for it. So we come on up, rock back, cross the legs the other way now, on the elbows, and just rock a little side to side. You might notice that the knee is somewhere up on the opposite breast. Now if you feel up to it, just tuck the toes under, get the knee off the ground, and you can really start to get some mobility there. How far can you bring that knee across? Can you bring it up under the armpit even? Phew. This is not for hip replacements, by the way. If you want to loosen up the muscles behind the hip joint and hip replacement, you can massage with the help of a tennis ball or a professional masseur. The 100 and a few of the first Pilates exercises. It's nice to do it with a cushion under the head. I want you to imagine you're lying down in bed and just relaxing, shoulder blades flattening to the mat, breathing into the belly like it's a balloon. Peak of the breath, relax your neck, and breathe out. Now, is the pelvic floor in the action as well? Pelvic floor is a muscular bowl. When you breathe in, imagine the floor, the belly, the lower ribs all expanding together like one big balloon. Breathing in, tummy's lifting, neck's relaxing. Pelvic floor is bulging, breathe out. Again, hold out, balloon, neck relaxes. So we're lying in bed, we feel our tummy. Just you do it too, feel your tummy, it's nice and relaxed. Now what happens if we lift our head? Up a little higher, tummy is now firm. Did your tummy balloon outwards? That's rectus pufus, like you're watching, ballooning outwards. And you'll feel the pelvic floor ballooning down as well. And that's the rectus pufus. For the Pilates 100 and the Pilates roll-up, we want the tummy gently shrink wrapping in. And we want to feel the pelvic floor lifting up and in. Now, the pelvic floor, now in the ladies, we have a back passage and a front passage. Men don't have a front passage, but we can imagine what that's like. So, lift the head, gently pull the tummy in. Pull up on the front and back passages, and let's do the Pilates 100. Let's do it with one leg lifted, and we just touch the heel onto the front of the other foot. Let's have the arms up like Joseph Pilates style. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's the elbows be straight. Now, I don't generally count the breathing. We want to have 40. And then we'll switch the legs over. Tummy shrink wrapping in, let's switch the legs over. The lower heel's on the ground, you're curling up to look at your big toe. Now you can feel your tummy gently shrink wrapping in. And the back passage, front passage, pulling up and inwards. And come on down. For the last 40, you may do 20 with left foot up and then right foot up, 20, 20. Or you may join us for the full, both heels lifted and touching. Here we go. Both heels hip lifted and touching. Head off the pillow and the heels up. Now squeeze the buttocks together. Pull the passages up. Shrink wrap the tummy. It doesn't have to be as strong, just enough to hold it together. And let's have some big action. Straight elbows. You're like oars splashing the water. And we just got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down we go, the roll up. And again, we prepare as though we're lying back in bed, head on the pillow. We'll make it easy for you during the roll up. You remember the tummy shrink wraps in and the back passage, front passage, pulling up and in. And it has to happen gently. We'll make it easy. How do you get out of bed? How do you lift your head off the pillow? How do you sit up? This is how you do it. Head up, look between your toes. Now the fingers slide under your thighs and you push with your elbows and you can finish your roll up. And back down we go. It's easier going down than up, by the way. Did your tummy pull in a little bit? Again, head up and fingers under thighs. And just at that moment, your tummy gently pulls in and the pelvic floor pulls up. Relaxing. Breathe into the floor, belly, lower ribs, breathing in like a balloon. Relax the neck and throat. Breathe out. And now, head up, fingers under thighs. Just gently pull the tummy and floor in. Up we come. And now the belly and floor can relax. And even though they're just still gently pulling in. So again, yeah, we got through all right. And we're doing 2 more. Elbow push to help you up. If you feel good for that, we'll do another 4. But this time it's just arms up, head up, shrink wrap your tummy and roll on up. By the way, when you're up in your horseshoe shape, let your chest lift as your back rounds. Chest lift as your back rounds. Up. And now you'll realize that if you gently flatten your tummy, pull the pelvic floor in. When you need it, here we are, pulling in, up we come. Stretch band windscreen wiper. This is my favorite for sorting out so many problems in the hips and the lower back. Over the balls of toes. We're going to do it in circles. Here we go, just like that. And you can see if the foot's going around, the hip's coming up and over as well. This is my favorite for builders, farmers, and truck drivers who have the stiffest hips in the world. We'll change direction. We'll go to the ceiling and we can just do 2 hands. Let's just have 3 each way. How big can we make those circles? There's a 3rd one. We can point to make the ball of the foot look left and right as well. Okay, leg wide. Oh, get the hip down, push the hip down. I don't want you to be able to slide fingers under your hip. Get the hip down. And a slightly bent knee. More circles. Let's have about 6 one way, 6 the other way. Yeah, this is so good. Like bend the knee a bit more. Maybe even just get 2 hands on there. Keep this hip down. Okay, change direction. So if we're breathing into the belly and lower ribs, can we still relax the neck and the throat? But this opposite hip staying down. Let's switch legs. Stretch band windscreen wiper. Over we go. And we make circles. So maybe this hip's going over as well. Maybe the hip's going away from the ribs so that the lower ribs are actually lifting. Change direction. So we're stretching out the muscles immediately behind the neck of the femur so that the ball can stay back in the hip socket. And if the ball is back in the hip socket, there's got lots of contact between joint surfaces. Your joint will never wear out. So this is how you start to fix early stage degenerative hip arthritis. Take the leg to the ceiling. You would not do that for a hip replacement. You would massage the hip to sort that out. Okay, we'll take the foot, make it look to the right, make it look to the left, and then finally hip opposite hip down, knee slightly bent, away we go. Do you feel tightness on the inside thigh? This is so good. And okay, we just change direction. And just to finish off, bend the knee a bit more. Slightly different stretch now, so good. Round and round. Okay. Whew. Crocodile snaps. Take one leg to the ceiling and push the back of the heel away so the toes are coming towards you. Now I want you to imagine that your hands are like a crocodile swimming in a pool. And the toe is a piece of meat hanging off a rope, dangled there by the crocodile instructor. Left hand behind the head. Let the head lift up, snap. Back to the pool, snap. Are you flexible in your hamstrings? You're gonna feed your crocodiles. If you're not, you're just gonna have a hungry crocodile. All right, snap, snap, snap. Change over, head over, change your head up. Get your head up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Change the legs. And 1, 2, and back. 3, and back. Push the back of the heel away. The toes are coming down towards you. Feed your crocodile. Snap. Snap. Switch the hands over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and both legs down, head down, and take a little break. Okay, so perhaps we have a crocodile freezing. So perhaps we have a crocodile feeding frenzy. Both legs to the ceiling. We've got 2 pieces of meat hanging down. Let's go across the body. We're going to do 12. Hands down, snap, down, snap. You got snap, and snap, and 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, and 12. Take a break. We have some very well-fed crocodiles. Spine stretch forward with a stretch band held in one hand. We'll do the lift the head off the pillow, roll up, head up, fingers under thighs, the tummy shrink wrapped, up we come. Just grab a band. We'll put the band over both feet and hold it with one hand. And tall, and the head on the chest, and roll forward. First the head and each vertebra in sequence. The chest lifted, the back's rounded. Switch over. Head, each vertebra, down we go. Roll each vertebra back into place. When you're up, the pull on the stretch band is activating the muscles of the shoulder blades in the back. When you're forward, you have to be working your back muscles and lifting your chest away from your hips. Abdominal single leg stretch. Hug one knee into the chest and imagine holding onto a cowboy hat with the other hand. Let's go. A U shape with the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got some sideways movement, a U shape. 6. Now we make a McDonald's arch. Up and over. We could have more challenge if we took the leg wide. This is really good for coordinating the inner thigh with the abdominal obliques. Got the hand up here, the cowboy hat. Yeehaw! Off we go. One more. Going to switch over now. Heads up. Cowboy hat. U shape. 3, 4, 5, 6, and McDonald's, just a single arch, up and over to McDonald's arch. Well, that's 2 arches. This is just 1, up and over. It's a McDonald's shape, I guess. 1 more. Next had a good workout. Prop on the elbows for Sphinx stretch. Now make it a little bit interesting by taking the knee out the side. Just let the tummy relax and sink down. Phew, that's good. So how about doing that abdominal breathing? Breathe into the belly, breathe into the pelvic floor, and relax the neck. And we do a hip lift. Head down, look under your chest. Hips lift for 1. Smoothly lower, and down we go and look up. Eyeballs looking up, eyeballs looking up on the eyebrows. Up and back down. Look up, look down, hips up. Let the knee lift this time. Down we go. So we've got hips and knees lifting. Look up and down and up. Smoothly lower. Look up. Knees swapping over. And just let the tummy relax. Breathe into the belly, lower ribs and pelvic floor. Relax the neck. And hips lift. Look down. Hips lift. Look up under your eyebrows. Right up to the ceiling. Number 2. We lower smoothly. Look up. Number 3. Look down. The hips lift. Get the knee off the ground. Look up. Look down. Hips lift. Lower smoothly. Up. Down. Hips and knee lift. 1 more. Prone press or swan preparation. Let's have the legs close together. Just coming up, look up over the eyebrows. Now the tummy's shrink wrapped and pulling in. The tailbone's tucked. Now you can let your hips drop a little bit to whatever the border of the comfortable movement is. Down we go. We'll do 2 more. Up. The elbows straight, pushing up high. And 3. We'll do 4 more. But we're going to look left and right with the head, but also with the shoulders. Tails tucked. Pelvic floor, pulling in. Lower tummy, firming and flattening. Down we go. Up. Right. And the shoulder moves back. Left. And the shoulder moves back. Right and left. Very important to keep the tummy on and the tailbone tucked. The glute muscles are squeezing. Right and left. This is a prone push-up. Down we go. Take the legs wide, knees bent, and just come on up. And we're doing a full prone push-up. 4, 5, 6. Foam roller massage for the inside leg. Now for the foam roller massage inside leg, we want the opposite hip to be high. So if you're down with the hip down, it's not going to work. Toes under, knee lift, hip lift. And just keep it moving. So we're just doing 45 seconds each side. Now, as long as you keep moving, that's really nice. The tummy's working, pulling in, just to hold it together. Now the left side hip is lifting. And we just let that knee bend. Just the right spot there. Switching over. Now we could let this hip drop down, but we let it lift up. Toes tucked under, knee lifting. Now we've got the weight on there. That's so good. Such tired, aching muscles. This is very, very good for anyone that does sprinting and high-level running. Because for those sports, you need to have very good control and coordination between the front inner thigh muscles and the abdominal obliques, and that's what's happening right now. Same for the prone push-ups, same for the Sphinx stretch with 1 bent knee and hip lift. And we've got another 5 seconds or so. That is so good. For side kicks, I do sideline. From the clown position, McDonald's arches. And right in front of the tummy button, up to the knee, to the ankle, to the knee, to the ankle. That's one cycle. Ankle and knee and forward and knee and ankle and forward and knee. Inner thigh lift, we take this top thigh up to vertical and we get the hips back at 45 degrees. McDonald's. And touch, and touch, and touch, and touch, and touch, and touch, and we've got another 15 seconds or so. Whew. So just do 45 seconds of each of these. Up and over into the clown position, setting up for McDonald's up and down kick. In front of your tummy button. Up and knee and ankle and knee and ankle and let's have one more. In the thigh version, thigh over to vertical, hips at 45 degree and ready to go. In the thigh lift version, up and down and up and down. You see the McDonald foot arch? That's one cycle. And up and middle and forward and one more. Roman feast position, we'll go back to the first side. And if we were Romans, we'd be having a feast propped on the elbow. Away we go. So all we're going to do is let the hips lift and point to the sky. Up. Now push to the back of the elbow, push the shoulder blade down to the elbow. 1 and 2 and 3 and now push that elbow back into the mat to point to the sky. 5, 6, push the elbow, over we go. Elbows pushing, fingers reaching. Up, 1 and 2 and 3 and down and 4 and down and 5 and down and 6. Single leg teaser. Let's take a band and put it between your knees. Let's make sure your knees stay together. Let's start from the down position. Got your leg up. So we use a little bit of momentum. Forward, up. 1 and up and 2 and up. Take it down slowly. We've got 6 each side. You may only do 3 each side, and that's fine. There's 6. Up and switch. Knees, ankles, up, down we go. Knees, ankles, up, and down we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. Superman in flight. We'd all like to be Superman. Okay, so just take the heels and touch them together. Lift the knees just off the mat. Squeeze the glutes together. The pubic bones pressing into the mat. Here we go. Now we look left and right 6 times. Right, the shoulder lifts. Left, 4, 5, 6. Arms out the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One arm in front, one behind. Look, 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 look. And the arms over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze the glutes. And take a break. Mermaid on a footstool. There's so much movement in the mermaid, we can break it down. Ball of toe up against my knee, fingers to the mat, push this hip down, see, just like that. So we've got a rolling action through the hip joint. If we had a rotator cuff in our hip, it's just loosening up the rotator cuff of the hip. Hook the fingers under the shin, push the knee down, the hip staying down. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we take our action into a stretch for the side of the hip and the ribs. Up, up, push the hip down. Look up, and the eyebrows to the hand. 6, 7, elbow up, descend the arm up, descend the ribs up, but the hip stays down. Did you look up? Did your second rib breastbone lift? Do the same the other side. Hook the fingers in. Looking up, second rib breastbone area lifting. 1, 2. Now this sit bone's sinking down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just keep looking up under your bushy eyebrows. 12. Bring the legs over. And we've got the ball of the toe to the knee. Get this hip down, push with the fingers, push with the palm. 3, 4, 5. Still good to let the second rib breastbone area lift. Push. So we're sort of doing about 12 little rocking mobilization stretches. Be nice and tall. Second rib breastbone area lifting. 2, there. Hook the fingers in, push the knee down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Fingers down. Keep the sit bone down. 1, look up. 2, breastbone's lifting. 3, 4, 5. Keep looking up. Look up. 8, 9, 10, and 12. Walk the fingers under. Keep the sit bone down. Breastbone's lifting. 2, 3, 4. If we push into the stretch, it's not just stretching, it's strengthening for the muscles on the opposite side. Crossed legs lying down. We start with the hip slightly up. This hip up leg goes long. The knees are close together. This is crucial. The knees are close together. Now reach your hand down to the heel so it's just touching that heel. And we rock this hip down. See, this hand is pushing the hip down. The spare finger's on the heel. Push, push. Now this is somewhat painful and you will want to separate your knees, so just keep your knees together. So let's do a count of 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We rock into it and we can tolerate that discomfort. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Let's just hold that. We can push that hip down a little more. We've gotten a little more used to that painful factor there. So it's uncomfortable, but it's worth it. We'll reset up for the other side. Get the hip up, cross the legs, top hip leg goes long. We've got the fingers on the heel, finger and thumb on the heel, and push this hip down. Whew, the discomfort is rather sharp. Let's get the knees close together. Let's go for it. Total of 30, I think. 1, 2, 3. Pushing with the hand. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just check the knees close together. Okay, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, this is going to make sure that we've tightened. Okay, 28, 29, 30. Just pushing into that, just pushing into that. The seal. Only do the seal when you're properly warmed up. You've got your hands together in prayer, or dive them down between your thighs. So just wrap your wrists around your ankles and just see if you can clap your hands together. Now the elbows are pressing into the inner thighs. You'll know if there's any knotted up and painful areas in those inner thighs. I know my right one's pretty bad at the moment. So we just go clap, 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 roll back, clap, clap, clap. And if we get the balance right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Keep the elbows pressed into the thighs and the thighs pressing against the elbows. One more. Rolling Sir Galahad. I've got the hands on the knee, 2 hands on the knee. This is where I can push into the front of my foot, the toes, 5 balls of toes. Just push into the front of that foot and squeeze it together. All right, so let's get the action going. Belly button back to lower tummy sinking down. Grab a cowboy hat and let's get going. Yeehaw! 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're just switching over 6 of the hands on the knee. Remember the belly button's back, tailbone tucked, forward, lower tummy sinking down, and there we go. It's like riding a wild horse. How much movement can you get into your body? Cowboy hat, yeehaw, let's go. 2, 3, back we go with the arm, got lots of stretching happening. Yeehaw, pubic bone sinking. He's looking up under your eyebrows. Can you see the ceiling? So split, stretch, 4, with the knee down. This time we just hand on the hip and hand on the knee. Do the same on the other side. I've got my toes tucked under, the body staying vertical. 3, 4. When we transition back to the first side, the back knee's going to be up. Here we go. Back knee's up. And just 3 times, just rock forward. And just bring the arms up. 2, 3. You can have hands on the knees a little easier. And now, down and switch. Knees up. And then just 1, 2, 3. And up we come. Thanks for joining us for the workout.